So the second one is called Messy Business. Mark, Ben, the security guard, are going to be played by Mr. McCrae. Hannah's going to be played by my mom, Katrina. And the narrator is going to be Bianca, my wife. And she also has like one line, which is Megan's line, which is Mark's wife. And then this is the second table read. And action.
Interior, Mark's office, day. Hannah, mid-30s, sits facing Mark, mid-40s. Hannah twirls her phone in her hand. Mark sits at the edge of his seat. Hannah looks at the clock. It reads 10:01.
I said 10 a.m., Mark, not almost a damn week.
Mark stiffens. Hannah goes to the email on her phone.
Good luck with your wife when you get home.
Hannah's about to hit the send button to send the email out.
No!
Mark leaps from his chair. 13 minutes earlier. Interior, office, day. Hannah sits at her desk filling paperwork left on her desk from last night. She receives an email from Mark. It says, "Those files better be ready by the time I come in. I don't want to have to dock your pay again." Hannah sighs and gets back to work. Interior, Mark's house, day. Mark is getting dressed in the bathroom when his wife, Megan, late 30s, walks in to brush her teeth. She gets around him without even touching him. They don't say good morning. They barely even look at each other. She finishes up and leaves. Mark adjusts his tie and notices a lipstick stain on the top of the knot. He takes a washcloth, wets it, and gently gets the lipstick stain off. He exits and heads downstairs to get his things. Megan is in the kitchen fixing herself a drink of vodka and orange juice. Mark leaves without saying a word. Interior, office, day. Hannah turns on the monitor of her computer and double-clicks on a folder named Personal. She opens up an email and starts to attach the files from the personal folder. She saves the draft and heads to Mark's office. Interior, office, day. Mark exits the elevator and heads to his office, barely acknowledging his employees. Mark enters his office and finds Hannah sitting in his chair.
Close the door, Mark.
What the hell? What are you doing at my desk?
Close the door and have a seat.
Mark closes the door and slowly walks over to a chair facing his desk.
Hannah, I don't have time for this. What do you want?
Hannah stares at the clock on the wall. It reads 9:47.
You have 13 minutes to wire transfers. $3 million into the account number.
She hands a piece of paper to Mark.
Excuse me. I'm not giving you any money.
If I don't receive this transfer by 10 a.m. and an email with photos of you and someone I'm pretty sure is not your wife, will be sent to your precious Megan.
What photos? I'm not cheating on my wife.
A shot of the clock. It reads 9:48.
Mark, you're wasting time. You and I both know you are having an affair. Hell, the whole office knows it.
Mark takes out his cell phone and attempts to make a call.
Call anyone and I'll hit send.
Mark puts his phone back into his pocket. Hannah gets up. She walks over to the door and opens it. The clock reads 9:49.
You better hurry.
Mark runs out. Exterior, office, day. Mark spots a security guard and attempts to get his attention. Mark's cell phone begins to ring. Mark answers.
Do you want me to send those files?
Mark hangs up the phone. The security guard walks over to Mark.
Can I help you, sir?
Mark shakes his head and runs out of the door. Interior, bank, day. Mark looks at the clock. It reads 9:50. He talks to an account manager at their desk. Interior, Mark's house, day. Megan takes out a small suitcase and throws a couple of panties, bras, jeans, shirts, and socks into it. She then goes and takes a shower. Interior, bank, day. Mark enters and heads straight to his account manager, Ben.
Hey, Mark.
Mark slides his driver's license, wire transfer slip, and $200 across the table. Ben stares at the $200.
You know this won't be in this account for 5 business days. What? I needed that account by 10 a.m. I'm sorry, man. My hands are tied on this one. It's a large sum of money. Should I still continue with the transfer?
Frustrated, Mark nods his head yes. But Ben finishes the transfer.
You know me better than that.
Ben slides the $200 back to Mark and hands him the receipt.
Good luck.
Mark runs out of the bank. Interior, Mark's office, day. Mark storms into his office. He glances at the clock. It reads 10:01. Hannah is now sitting in a chair in front of his desk. She motions for Mark to close the door and have a seat. Mark plops down.
The funds will be there in 5 days.
Mark throws the transfer receipt at Hannah.
Look, I made a mistake.
Seeing the same woman every Thursday during your lunch break at the motel on Route 9 is not just a mistake.
Hannah looks at the clock.
I said 10 a.m., Mark. Not almost a damn week.
Mark stiffens. Hannah goes to the email on her phone.
Good luck with your wife when you get home.
Hannah is about to hit the send button to send the email out.
No!
Mark leaps from his chair and tackles Hannah to the ground. They struggle, rolling around, knocking into Mark's desk. Hannah pushes him down and attempts to run to the door. Mark grabs her foot and drags her down to the ground. Hannah falls, but holds onto her phone tightly. Mark grabs her hands and tries to pry the phone from her hands. He overpowers her and gets her phone. He looks at the phone. It reads, "Message sent." Hannah grabs her phone from Mark and stands up. She straightens her clothes and heads to the door. Mark stands up slowly and walks around his desk to his seat. He sits down and puts his head on his desk. Hannah opens the door and turns back to Mark.
Great doing business with you. Enjoy the rest of your life.
Hannah leaves. Mark's email notification goes off on his computer. He raises his head and double-clicks on his email icon. He has an email from Hannah. Puzzled, he opens it up and notices that a video is attached. He double-clicks on the video. It plays. 2 women are making out. Mark can't make the women out yet. The video continues. One of the women gets on top of the other one. The camera is in the video, pans to the right, revealing one of the women's faces. It's his wife, Megan. The woman on the bottom pushes Megan down and gets on top of her, revealing her face. It's Hannah. Mark runs out of his office. Exterior, office, day. A car pulls up as Hannah exits the building. Hannah gets in. Interior, Megan's car, day. Megan greets Hannah as she gets into the car. How did it go? Hannah shows Megan the deposit receipt. Megan kisses Hannah, then drives off. Exterior, office, day. Mark runs outside and notices Megan's car. He starts screaming Megan's name as her car drives away. He takes out his cell phone and tries to call Megan. It doesn't ring. Instead, he gets the message, "I'm sorry. The number you are trying to reach has been disconnected." Fade to black.
That's messed up. 2 con artists.
Bamboozle him.
2 con artists.
Rip
2
him off.
mothers and
$3
con
million.
artists a man. Ain't nothing more to say about that. There's just a bunch of con artists there. They just got them $2-3 million and it's over. And that's it. It was just a threat. And they knew what they were gonna do all along. Ain't no more to say about that.
That's real. That's what the real love was between the 2 females.
That's right.
She only
and he
got
didn't know
involved
that,
with the
though.
man, which goes back to the
Which
last
was her
conversation with
husband.
that, which wasn't an excuse. Just
Right.
needed something.
She just
only
needed
because
something.
he had money.
He had money.
And she
He
had
had a
what
lot
he
of
wanted.
money. Apparently,
A lot
they
of
could
money.
just transfer $3
Very
million.
rich.
Absolutely,
That's
just
right.
like that.
Just like that.
Based on this blackmail with this image perception of this other woman, only to find out the other woman is
A lover to the one that's threatened, that's working in his own office.
Well, it's like, they were both cheating on each other, but what was his name? Mark was really cheating on his wife, like Megan. Like every, what was it, Tuesday, Thursday?
Every Thursday.
Every Thursday, the hotel on
That's
Route 9.
So they was using
Well-
them. Both of them was using them.
Well, that's what Hannah said. There's no proof that he was cheating.
That's true.
That's what Hannah
Well, there
said.
was that lipstick on his collar. I don't think that was from Megan, the wife.
Well, you don't know, because she can assume he never said he was cheating. But then by him paying the money, you can assume that he was. Because why would he be willing to pay
Yeah,
the
he
money?
was.
Why would he be willing to pay the
and they
money if he
seem-
wasn't
Well, see,
cheating?
the
They
same.
seem very miserable. So what does it matter if Megan, his wife, gets those pictures?
Because
They're-
he didn't
they're
want to have to
over.
pay no money, but he ended up paying anyway.
And see, there's also that perception of the psychological perception, assuming I'm with somebody. But in the same token, if my wife develops this thought in her mind and believes I am, what do? See, in this case, a lot of times, which I would truly say that, see, a lot of men get into this position where the reality is challenged by the unreality, the thought, the perception. In society, okay, if I say you're doing it, how do I really get around this? How do I defend myself? The hardest thing is to defend yourself if there's a perception of thought. I can't prove it. Where was I? Where were you? You was late, you was out. How do I say I was here and then get the back? Because once a person gets into their head, that's what I believe, then you're faced with a challenge.
Well, then why was he so crazy about Hannah sending that video? Like, what would he think was on it?
Well, this
Before he knew, and he was fighting her, like really fighting her, like
Because it
wrestling
didn't
her.
matter. He didn't want his marriage to be jeopardized because it was going to cost him money.
But what would he have possibly been doing that could have been viewed as, oh, maybe he's
It's showing
cheating?
that his wife that he was cheating.
But so then he was.
That's why I said.
Right.
Okay.
That's why she was blackmailing him, because they knew that he was cheating and he didn't want the wife to know that he was cheating.
And see, there's a reality of this cat and mouse
Well,
game because again,
both of them got him because they were cheating with each other.
Right, they was
and
cheating.
Well,
still
he was
gonna
also
get
a
his
terrible boss. Like, so then
He
who
just
do
didn't
you
want to be
feel? Like,
blackmailed.
who do you guys felt bad for Mark in the end?
I just said they all was con artists.
Well, he was being, where was it? In the beginning, it said that he sent an email like, yeah, I don't want to have to dock your pay again
Right.
because Hannah didn't send emails on time. He sounds like a terrible boss. Like, and he's cheating.
Where she
Not
didn't
really.
care. No, he wasn't a terrible boss. The Hannah didn't care because she was screwing his wife.
Well, when would you think that happened? It doesn't say.
It didn't matter.
Before or after he started.
It wouldn't have mattered when it happened. She had the upper hand of knowing I'm with your wife. So I ain't
Yeah, but
gotta
that
work hard.
no. In terms of her, him being that way with her, like.
You wouldn't know that by the script of when it happened. Because,
Yeah, exactly. I mean,
because you just can assume that she already knew that I'm with your wife, so it really wouldn't matter.
well, do you think
I don't
that
like you as a boss, so
well,
I ain't
yeah.
gotta send that no time.
Yeah, so then it's not that she was a bad employee and he was a bad boss. It was that she was doing her job right. He was being a bad boss.
No,
They
he
had an
wasn't being a
affair.
bad. He wasn't being a bad boss. If you're not sending an email on time, that's not.
You
No,
didn't.
You're there to do
You
your
didn't get
job
the
on time.
feeling that he's a bad boss by him not saying anything.
Oh
by
yeah,
him
he also
sending-
walked past the employees
sending
and
the
didn't say
email.
anything to them.
well, see, that
Just
doesn't,
ignored
it
That
them.
doesn't mean
well,
that you're a bad boss.
right. It
Because
doesn't
of the,
mean that you're bad, but
right.
it mean it
that you
in a
don't have
sense.
nothing to do with your employees.
Well,
No,
that's
it-
not
it show-
a very caring,
Well,
But see,
not a boss's stuff.
With a lot of times, one doesn't know how to cover up their guilt. So
Yeah.
if I know I'm guilty of something, then I show it in a negative way. By look, you're not doing your job. You're not doing this. Only to realize later that by me, the way I'm treating you will really cause out to reveal my guilt of what I've been doing behind the scenes. In this case, if he was involved with somebody, okay, there's a guilt. I'm covering up that guilt, okay, in one sense, but I expose it by treating you badly. Once I treat you badly, and you find out, you say, I'm going to get back at him. I'm going to find out something. In this case, let's say the wife found out. She has suspicion that he was doing something with this person. I confront you. Hey, I know you've been seeing my husband, but I tell you what, I got a plan. because I know he got a bad attitude. He don't even pay attention to me at home. So now I'm looking for revenge. So since he's not paying attention to me and he's a bad husband, we started conversation. Because I know you've been with him, but I know he's a bad husband. How did we hook up something and do this? So in other words, they come up with this scheme. Only to find out, doing that scheme, we become attracted to each other. I see why he like you. I like you too.
Should the story change to that? You think that would be a stronger story?
I think it
they
would.
were scheming.
You know what?
Yeah.
I think so. You know why? Because the two of them was wrestling on the floor, and I think it should be about.
So like a
another
twist.
So
it could
I
be
should-
that Hannah would have an attraction with her boss, but he wasn't paying her no mind. So because
like
he
that.
wasn't paying her no mind.
So I shouldn't
Like
do
it
it
didn't get
where
to an
Hannah
affair.
was having an affair with Mark too. Then Megan and Hannah meet, and then they start having an affair, and then they decide
That'd be
to blackmail
good.
I
him.
think
Yeah,
I think
they-
it should be
right.
I
like
like that.
Yeah.
Right.
That's a good idea.
I think.
So you always leave that mystery
yeah.
piece all of a sudden like,
Yeah,
whoa.
because wow, she was going with the husband all along, but nobody saw that coming.
So then wait, but then wouldn't that wouldn't bother Megan or Hannah
Megan
to
don't
like
know.
join forces?
Megan didn't know.
No. Later
Megan was
on,
the wife.
no, later on, like let's say this whole new scenario.
No,
that they
because
were,
the two women got together and decided we both forget him.
Yeah, but okay, that's what I'm saying. They weren't bothered by the fact that
No.
the wife was getting cheated on by this one.
No,
This one
because
is
the
with
two
her
women
husband.
decided to team up together and we just gonna take
Yeah, but
this money.
I've seen that. We've seen that in movies, but it's like you teamed up, okay, but because you're joined by mutual hate, but then to fall in love with each other?
Well, no,
Because
because
that's what they did at the end. They're in love. They ran away
Right.
together.
because when they got together, she realized she really wasn't with the husband because she was in love with him. It was because he was a boss and he had money.
No, it's
No,
not
but
about
it
the boy. I mean,
it's
the
not-
two women.
no, it
The
comes-
two women
Right.
are in love in the
I
end.
know, that's what I'm saying. So Hannah wasn't in love with her boss.
No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm
No.
saying does the whole this one was cheating on her. Mark was cheating on the wife with Hannah, and Hannah was having an affair with him. They're both with him. All of a sudden, they decide to screw him over together because they find out about each other. Well, Hannah knew about him being married, and then they wind up to like falling in love at the end.
And that's where this twist comes in, only to
Yes.
find out what brought that attraction to. Okay, where Hannah and Megan also end up together.
They end up
Okay.
together because they decided, hey,
No,
they didn't
is
just.
it the money
they
or
didn't-
is it the love then?
I think that's where the attraction and the love comes in
I
more
think
so than the money. The money became the excuse because
Right.
it gave them a leverage
and then it
to move
became that they
on
fell
in the
in love with each
relationship
other.
that they really wanted.
So this discussion of script number 2 has been very helpful. I want to thank you all for giving me your time, your patience, your thoughts, your feedback, and I really appreciate it.
Oh, it's a
welcome.
pleasure. I enjoyed the moment. Good dialogue, seriously.
Very good.
You know, there's no love lost. You know,
Thank you.
it's all good because that's what it's all about anyhow.
Right.
You know, the getting to feel the tension, the tone, the twist and turn, you know, where you want to come from, to make a person think, but all of a sudden there's such a twist and turn in the writing, it causes one to think. And everybody, all of your audience have their own perceptions and opinion.
Right.
But what comes together is when that ending, even though it may have said one thing here, but you really don't know what the ending is. If I know the story, do I support you and come to the movie? Do I write the book? Do I read the book? No. So you always have to leave that something as a twist, that mystery piece. Yes, it's strong to the point where you can say, I know what's going to happen.
Right.
You see? So when you get into the dialogue and listening to and the writing and changing this around and have a little direction, it becomes like a roadmap.
But see, we didn't know that his wife was going to be gay and go with the secretary.
No, it's,
That's the twist in it.
Do you want us to walk away with this with just one idea, or just have
Well,
us with our own different ideas of what
I
you
think
want?
you
to
should
no,
walk
I'm
walk away
open
with
to
your own-
anyone's idea.
I think you should.
I want
walk away with
everyone to
everybody's idea.
everyone to walk away
Yeah,
feeling
their own
something.
conclusion.
Okay.
Whether you
Right.
feel
You got it.
She got
Well, there
it.
you
You
go.
got it. We're like defending discussion on that one.
That's what a movie
That-
does.
there we go.
That's what a
that's the
movie
whole
does.
point.
It make you
Well,
think.
that
Okay,
whole
Thank
point.